Hello, and welcome to Geeks Assembled. And today we are discussing a movie which was made way back in 1954. And I just realised it's a Walt Disney production as well, because I'm just looking at the DVD cover. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, a Jules Verne classic novel made into a movie. So, shall we go with opening thoughts on this movie? What was your opening thoughts when watching this movie? Let's go to Susan first, shall we?
It's a whale of a tale, and it's do-do-do. Whale of a tale or two. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And it's all true. Anyway, this is a really great movie. I was a big fan of Jules Verne as a child. I had a great affection for his work. I had a great affection for what he did. How he produced works of great science fiction, and Disney seemed to capture at least the fictional science of the thing, with the professor and Captain Nemo like facing off with each other. And I'd also call it one of my favorite films of all time. It has imagery that is permanently fixed in my mind. In fact, sometimes when I'm on the ocean, I will see things that just so remind me of the wonders of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Thanks.
Great, Susan. That's great opening thoughts, and we'll move over to Harry. And what's your opening thoughts on this 1954 movie?
First time I saw the movie was at the theaters years ago. Saw the DVD a few years ago at work. It's still a great movie in my opinion. It's one of the all-time great classics. It's something visually and story-wise still holds up today. It's a great movie. It's a movie I'd recommend to anybody who wants to sit down and watch a good family movie, because it is one that just, no matter what, it holds up to this day and is still something that you just can't go wrong with it. Plain and simple. It's a Disney movie. What can I say?
Yeah, I mean, we've reviewed a few Disney movies on our channel, and because a certain person in our group just loves Disney. I've got to admit, hold my hand up, I love Disney as well. I was just saying to Harry before we started the cast that this is another one of these movies that I haven't sat through from beginning to end, and I'm finding that quite a lot of what these movies that we review, that I'm sitting down and thinking, wow, that's the first time I've sat the whole way through this, because I've always caught it at the last 20 minutes of the movie, or I've caught it halfway through, but I've sat down, watched it all the way through, and I've got to agree with you, visually it's stunning. The underwater scenery is just amazing. The sets designs are amazing, and for the acting, you can't knock the acting in this. I mean, you've got three main Hollywood actors. I think this was the first time that Disney hired three main Hollywood actors in one of their main movies. First time ever. James Mason, Kirk Douglas, and Peter Lorre. It's a wonderful visual movie. I was trying to remember if I ever read Jules Verne's novel, but do you know, for the life of me, I can't remember if I ever did. I was watching this and I was racking my brains, but it's just gone. I can't remember if I have. But to be honest, I don't know if this is true to the book, but we may find that out later on. In maybe Harry or Susan will be able to tell us this. So, moving on. What shall we say is your favourite characters, favourite moments in the movie? Anyone? Open the mic.
I'd have to say probably my favorite moment is when the professor and Captain Nemo actually start talking and comparing notes and realize if all they got their differences, in many ways, they're very much alike. They're both men, science men who are trying to prove that they have a scientific interest in learning and advancing knowledge. They're both, in that aspect, a lot alike.
I love it when Kurt Russell's character Ned starts singing and carries on, and then he loses his banjo in the other ship when the other ship is hit, and then by the time that the Nautilus, he's aboard the Nautilus, there's a shell that he hollows out, and he makes himself another banjo, and he goes to town singing that song again.
For me, yeah, I agree with Harry that the professor and Nemo sort of click, and the professor starts to stick up for Nemo, and the other two teammates are very happy with that. So that's a good scene and all that, and also the attack of the squid scene, to me, when I was watching it, that stands up so well today with any modern day special effects. That is so good. I was quite unbelievable when I was watching it. I'm thinking, wow, they were doing this back in 1954. Comparing to what we get nowadays, that is damn good effects. But Disney have always been leading in this sort of way with the movies. And for me, my favourite character really is I love James Mason as Captain Nemo. Every time you mention Captain Nemo, you always envisage James Mason nowadays. Because the part and this film has been remade and remade and remade. But you go back to this one, it's every time you say Captain Nemo, it's James Mason what comes to mind. Kate Douglas, wonderful. Him and Peter Lorre were sort of like a comedy duos, or when they were together on scene. And also we had the was it Esmeralda, the sea lion? That little scenes with that was brilliant. It's everything what a Disney, as Harry says, a family movie. So saying that though, was there anything what you have to nitpick at, or just slightly niggling at you in this movie?
Yeah, the scene with Esmeralda when he throws the glass jar full of fish against the wall and the seal is still down there. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? You're endangering the seal. Anyway, yeah, the special effects were amazing, and I liked the part where he's opening the heart of the ship, the engine compartment, and it's very science fiction at that point. All the muted colors, the muted greens and blues and stuff of the ship are suddenly like reds, and there's all sorts of sparkle inside the engine compartment. It's totally got to be an atomic engine compartment, like a nuclear sub. Nuclear. I want to say that right. Nuclear submarine. Yes. So anyway.
Anything what niggles you, Harry?
I had to go through some of that thing about the engine room. I mean, visually, this movie still holds up today. That is one of the few things I will say about this. About this movie is that it's a great storyline, and visually, it holds up. I mean, you take a look at other movies from this time period; they don't hold up as well. But 20,000 Leagues, even to this day, still holds up magnificently. It is one movie that I don't care if you get it on DVD, you see it on television, whatever. It is still a classic, and it still holds up today. It's one of those movies that you just can't go wrong watching it. It is that good a movie.
Yeah, I agree. To me, there was never a dull moment in it. Time flew by watching this. I did notice that. I mean, okay, Jules Verne mostly influenced some set designers on other TV shows as well, and also this movie with all the brass tiles, the wood panellings. Well, I think I'm going down the TARDIS route in the '96 movie, but to me also the Nautilus does seem to me to be larger on the inside. So the design, when they're all stood on the outside of the Nautilus, it seems to be a lot bigger on the inside. I know it's underwater, but it does seem to be a lot bigger on the inside. Did you get that feeling?
Well, it was definitely spacious roomy underwater, and its stateroom, the captain's room, was quite an elegant thing. And yes, I see your steampunk or I see your dials of the '96 movie and raise you a steampunk before steampunk was steampunk. You know, that whole thing.
This was most probably the first steampunk.
Really? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So any other information would you like to pass on from this movie? Any tidbits?
I love the fact that James Mason plays the baddie for the most part, because you know, he's so good at playing good guys. I mean, James Mason nails it, and I know he probably had a lot more fun playing Nemo than he did some of the other good guys that he's played.
Well, I think you all know these days the British are always good at playing the villains. we do play the villains the best in the movies. We do. But yeah, James Mason did. The way he played Nemo, I mean, you could see that he was sort of on the edge of insanity as well.
Yeah.
That was, but he was teetering. He was teetering on insanity. But yeah, it was a very fan performance from James Mason. I think he's a very underrated actor in his day. I mean, but to me, he's one of the best of the Brits in the movie world. So, if there's anything else, shall we go on to the scoring and your last final thoughts? Yep. Okay then.
Sure.
Oh, go on then.
Go ahead. That's
okay.
Good.
Yep. So we'll go for scores and final thoughts. Harry, what's your score and your final thought for this movie?
If I had this, just one of those. The other thing I could say about this movie is it's a classic. 10 out of 10. I mean, just one of those movies that you just never get tired of watching. You sit down, watch it, your family one time, and a few months later, you can sit down, watch it again. Nobody gets tired of watching this movie. It's one of the greats. Still, as I said, visually still holds up today. It's just a classic. That's all I can say is that it's truly a classic movie. One of those movies that you just never get tired of watching. It's just so enjoyable. It's, as I say, classic's the only term I can really come up with for it because nothing else fits it. It is classic.
Do you know? I think Harry likes it.
I love it. It's one of great Disney movies. It's science fiction, but yet so much of it is actually accurate to this day. Yeah. I mean, the engine, the fact that you're able to go down this deep. In fact, of all the Jules Verne novels, the only one that has not been done is Journey to the Center of the Earth. That's the only one that has not actually scientifically been done yet. All the others have scientifically been done.
There's a fact for you folks. Over to Susan.
Yeah, I love Jules Verne. I read this book first when I was about 9 or 10, and it captivated me. And I mean, my mom really sort of forced it down my throat, but once I'd read it, I was amazed. I loved the characters. I was the thought was great, and then I saw the Disney movie, and it blew my mind. I saw the Disney movie probably when I was like 12 or something, and it was tremendous, and it has stayed one of my favorite movies of all time to this day. And yeah, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 as well.
Right, so it's now down to me then. Do I spoil the 10 out of 10? For me, it's the best version. I know there was a version before. I think it was a silent movie version.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for me, this is the best version. I've seen all the other versions, starring Michael Caine and the likes of all the other stars. But this one for me does it. The acting is brilliant. 3 main stars: Kirk Douglas, James Mason, Peter Lorre, on top form. The sets visually stunning. The underwater scenes, I'll say again, visually stunning. So colourful. Disney at its best. Walt Disney at its best. And I think, if I remember reading that, Walt Disney personally oversaw the production of this film. It was one of his favourites to get it up and running, I think. It's going to be a 10. Sorry, I enjoyed it. It's the first time I've seen this all the way through. Not skipped 10 minutes here or 20 minutes there. Beginning to end, loved it. It's a brilliant fantasy film. 10 out of 10 from me. So all I need to do now is thank Harry and Susan for joining me on this cast. It's a smaller cast, but hey, we like doing them no matter what, Please subscribe to our channel, like, dislike, leave a comment below. We've got our Twitter. You can follow us on Geeks Assembled. We've got our Tumblr as well. We put all our stuff on there. So until next time, we'll bid you adieu, and we're just going to go now and voyage onto the sea of tranquility. Goodbye.